Welcome to the channel. I trust that you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use conditional orders on Apex Pro. Keep in mind that there are several creative ways that you can use conditional orders. And I do have another video where I show you how to use conditional orders to set multiple take profit targets. So feel free to check that video out as well. If this is your first time navigating to Apex Pro, I've left a verified link for you in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment down below. Feel free to use that link when navigating to Apex. I'll also let you know that this is not a sponsored video. This video is not financial advice. This video is for educational purposes only. If you're brand new to Apex Pro, I do have a step-by-step beginner tutorial, as well as a playlist with some more Apex Pro tutorials. And I'll leave a link for all of that in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment down below. Let's get into the video. You can do conditional market orders as well as conditional limit orders, and I'll demonstrate both in this tutorial. And I'll start with a conditional limit order. So the first thing we need to do is come up here to our order panel. We'll come over here where it says conditional market, but we'll hover over this little triangle. And from this drop-down menu, we'll select conditional limit order. Now let's head on over here to the chart. And just for fun, I'm going to grab some horizontals here from my drawing tools. I'm going to go ahead and just mark these candle bodies here like so. Then I'm going to grab another horizontal and I'm going to go ahead and mark these candle bodies right here. And now we can see that Bitcoin's trading in a sideways range here on the 4-hour chart between these two horizontals. And perhaps we want to try to trade the breakout of this. We don't really know if it's going to break out to the upside or to the downside. We don't really care. We just want to catch the breakout, whichever way it decides to break out. So maybe a conditional limit order might serve us in this particular situation. And I'll show you how to set that up. I'll go ahead and start with the top side of the range here. So the first thing I need to do is I need to choose a price point that's going to be the trigger price that tells Apex Pro to place a limit order onto the order book to go long. Maybe I'm looking at this wick right here and I want to use that as my trigger price. So what I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal here from the drawing tools and I'll go ahead and just mark that wick, something like that. Now I can see on the y-axis of the chart that there's a price point correlating to that wick at 28,917. So let's come over here to the order panel and I'm going to type that into trigger price, 28,917. Next, I need to choose an order price that Apex Pro places as a limit order onto the order book if my condition gets met by price action. And maybe I want to use this horizontal just below that one, so the former resistance in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and type that price point into my order price. I'm going to come over here to order price. I'm going to go 28,655. This will now be the price point that gets placed on the order book by Apex Pro if price action comes up and hits my condition. Next, we need to choose the quantity, so the size of the order that we want Apex Pro to place if our condition gets met. And for this demonstration, I'll just go ahead and do 25%. Now that I have this set up the way that I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click on Buy Long. Now I've placed that conditional limit order to cover the top side of this range. So for this to work, I need price action to come up, hit my condition, then retrace, fill my order, and then I'd be looking for the breakout. And that would be a classic SR flip where the former resistance becomes future support, confirming the breakout. Now let's go ahead and cover the bottom side of the range. Of course, the first thing we need to do is find a price point that we wish to use as our trigger to trigger Apex Pro to place our limit order to go short. So I'm going to grab a horizontal here from the drawing tools, and just for fun, let's use this red wick right down here, something like that. Now we can see a price point correlating to that horizontal on the y-axis of the chart at 26,180. So I'm going to come over here to trigger price, and I'm going to type that in, 26,180. Next, we need to choose our order price that gets placed on the order book if our condition gets met. And let's go ahead and use this horizontal right here. Of course, I can see the price point on the y-axis of the chart, and I'm going to go ahead and type that into order price, 26,675. Now I'll choose my quantity. I'll just go ahead and do 25% again. But this time, I'm going to click on Sell Short. Now I've placed that conditional limit order to go short. If price action was to begin to fall to the downside, getting through support and hitting my condition, Apex Pro is going to place a limit order on the order book back up at this level here. So for this order to work, we'll need price action to come down, hit my condition, retrace, retest the former support, confirming it as future resistance, and then roll over from here. So the obvious considerations here would be if price action was to come down and hit my condition, but just keep going, my order would be placed on the order book, but it wouldn't fill because price action failed to retrace, confirming the former support as future resistance. Or perhaps price action comes down, hits my condition, pulls back, fills my order, but then re-enters the range. That would put this trade idea at a loss. And it'd be the same for the upside. If price action just melted right through these levels here, my condition would be met, order would be placed, but never filled. Or if price action comes up, hits my condition, then fills my order, but re-enters the range, it would put this trade idea at a loss. So a couple basic considerations when choosing to use a conditional limit order to catch a breakout of a range. You can find the details of your conditional orders if you come down here, click on the conditional order tab, and here's where you'll find your conditional orders. If at any point you want to cancel these, you just come over here and click cancel underneath action, just like so. Now, as you can see, I just removed both those conditional limit orders. Now I'll show you how to do this with conditional market orders. The first thing we need to do is come over here to our order panel. We'll hover over this little triangle and we'll select conditional market order. Now let's head back over here to the chart. Now let's imagine that we're thinking to ourselves, you know what? If price action was to hit this price point up here, maybe it's most probable that price action would just be melting through there. Maybe it's not going to come back down and retest former resistance as future support. And same with the downside. Maybe we believe that if price action breaks to the downside, that it's just going to melt right through these levels. So maybe we want to try to place conditional market orders at these horizontals here. So let's start with the top side of the range. So we can see our first price point here at 28,917. Let's go ahead and type that into trigger price. 28,917. I'll do the same quantity for this. And now I'm just going to simply click on buy long. Now I've placed a conditional market order covering the top side of this range. If price action was to melt through here and hit this price point here, my order will be filled at the best available price from the order book. Now let's go ahead and cover the bottom side of the range. We can see the price point here at 26,180. So we'll come over here to trigger price. Let's type that in. 26,180. I'll do the same quantity again, but this time I'm going to click on sell short. Now I've placed that conditional market order covering the bottom side of the range. If price action begins to melt to the downside, my order will be filled right here at the best available price from the order book. Now, in the event that one of your orders fills and price action begins to go favorably for you, just make sure to come back and cancel the conditional order that didn't get filled. And of course, we can cancel these orders if we come down here where it says conditional, and then over here on the right-hand side, we just click on cancel, just like so. And I've removed both of those conditional orders. Now, in this case here, if price action was to start melting to the upside, but then hits the condition filling the order and suddenly reverses, obviously it'd be put at a loss here. If price action started to move to the downside, hitting my condition, my conditional short order would be filled. But if price action was to bounce back up, obviously that would put me at a loss as well. So what we could actually do is we can set these conditional market orders with a take profit as well as a stop loss when placing these orders. So I'll quickly show you how to get that done. So I'm going to come back over here to trigger price, and I'm going to use the same price points. So the top of the range here is 28,917. I'll do the same quantity, but this time I'm going to click this box right here where it says buy long with TPSL. In this box here, I can type in my take profit if this order fills. So let's just imagine I'm targeting 30,000. I just do something like that. And right down here, we can type in our stop loss. And maybe we want to set our stop loss somewhere just below this horizontal right here, just to cover our butts in case that price action fills our order, but then re-enters the range. So let's go slightly below this horizontal here. Maybe something like 28,600, just for the purposes of demonstration. So we'll come down here to stop loss. We'll go 28,600. Now that I have this set up the way that I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click on buy long. And now I've placed that conditional market order to the upside. But this time, if price action was to come up and hit my condition, not only does my order fill at the best available price from the order book, but I'll also be placing a take profit at 30,000 as well as my stop loss just below former resistance. So if price action was to fill and then re-enter this range, I'd be stopped out at a small loss just below this horizontal here. Of course, this wouldn't be very much fun if my order got filled, then price action came down, hitting my stop loss, but then reversed back to the upside, obviously I'd miss out on this trade. So we don't want to set our stop losses too close. Now let's go ahead and set this up to the downside of the range. I'll use that same horizontal at the bottom there. We'll go 26,180. I'll do the same quantity, but this time I'm going to click on sell short with TPSL. And let's just imagine that I'm targeting, say, 25,000. I type that into this box right here. And now let's go ahead and set up our stop loss. And maybe we want to go just above this horizontal right here. So maybe something like 26,720. We'll come over here to stop loss. We'll go 26,720. Now that I have this set up the way that I want it, I'm going to click on sell short. And now I've placed that conditional market order to the downside. If price action begins to fall through, my order is going to fill at the best available price from the order book right here. And then I'll be looking for immediate continuation to the downside. But if price action was to bounce back inside this range, I'll be stopped out slightly above this horizontal right here. Of course, we don't want to set our stop losses too close. You're going to want to do some good technical analysis and choose price points that make the most sense for you. If at any point you want to cancel any of these, of course, we just come down here where it says conditional. Then over here on the right-hand side, we'll click on cancel. And just like that, I removed both of those orders. So as I said before, you're going to have to do your own technical analysis and choose price levels that make the most sense for you. But that's how you get that done. And there you have it. There's an example of how conditional orders can work. If you got some value out of that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe. Also, feel free to check out my other Apex Pro tutorials, which are in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.